Okay, so I want to explain here a public safety exception. So this has to do, of course, with your Miranda rights. And of course, in the famous Miranda case, Miranda versus Arizona, uh, police officers have to warn you of your rights before speaking with you. And if they do not give you your rights before talking to you, then any evidence that you give prior to getting your Miranda rights can actually not be used in court. However, there is a public safety exception, hence the title here, public safety exception. And basically, um, there's a case that happened in New York, Quarles versus New York, where 1984, a woman yelled for police. Police show up. She says, "I have been raped by a man, and he had a gun." And she gave them a description, and police very quickly found a man matching that description running into a store. They ran after the man. When they catch up with him, he has a holster that has no gun in it. And one of the police officers says, "Where's the gun?" And the guy like motioned over toward a corner of the store and says, "Over there." And they went and got the gun. And they did this without giving the Miranda rights. The man sued, claimed that the evidence it can't be used in court. It went all the way to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court ruled that in cases where public safety is imperative, and in this case, a man with a gun, a loaded gun, then police could still use the evidence of in this case the gun in court despite not having given the Miranda rights. So this is, of course, is become a big issue when it comes to terrorists. So something happens today and someone's suspected of terrorism, oftentimes the Miranda warning may not be given before the suspect is questioned. So this now allows an unwarned interrogation or questioning to stand as direct evidence in court, even though the Miranda rights have not been given. The second thing I want to hit with this that is another exception to some things is the exclusionary rule. The exclusionary rule, just think like you're excluding something. And what this does is it protects Fourth Amendment rights to unreasonable search and seizure. And basically, exclusionary rule means that the government can't use evidence in trial against you if they got it from some sort of illegal search, seizure, an arrest, or an interrogation. So if they interrogate you without giving you Miranda warnings, unless there's a public safety issue, or they search you illegally, like they really didn't have a reason to search you, but they do it anyway, or they arrest you illegally like they really shouldn't have, or they illegally wiretap without getting proper judge approval of wiretapping. These sort of things, if any of this happens, then that is not going to be able to be used against you in a court of law. And that basically means that evidence illegally seized by law enforcement in violation of Fourth Amendment cannot be used against you. It is accepted. It's excluded. It's excluded from trial, and that's why it's exclusionary, excluded.